Hey, dude, you've been in Italy for a while. You eating any capicola?
Well, don't say it like that. And yeah, obviously a lot of it.
Yeah, that's good.
Go back to tomorrow and plan for yesterday. Everything you're thinking will be the things I say.
Say capicola. Just capicola.
All you gotta do for me, call me Dudesy.
Welcome to Dudesy. Welcome all. It is a Dudesy-ful day. I am Will Sasso.
I am Chad Kultgen, the reigning, defending champion of Dudesy, here on American soil, holding down the championship strap.
On a technicality, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
That's a nice little cup, dude.
Thank you. Tiny little cups for strong coffee. That's what we got in Italy.
That's the tiniest cup I've seen.
Well, it's an espresso cup.
Yeah.
You know, in Italian, we say just espresso.
You're in for a treat.
Cafe, you know.
I wore out my last deck, so I'm opening a brand new one. I wore out my last deck,
Oh,
so I'm opening a brand new one right now.
oh, cool.
Nothing
That's
like
pretty
it.
cool.
Nothing like
that's
opening a
great.
brand new deck.
Yeah, Chad likes to thumb around with the cards, and it helps him to ease his racing mind. And today on the show, my mind is going to be at ease because I am, as you said, Chad, I'm in Italy, and I've just spent a week in Napoli. I'm sure we'll get into it. Currently, we're on the Amalfi Coast, me and my wonderful wife, Molly, where the only playing cards they have are the Italian playing cards that my mother used to play along with her siblings and by herself at home with a mean game of solitaire. Listen, don't worry about it. Google it if you want to play Italian cards. They're a lot of fun.
I can probably do a trick. You want to see a trick?
All right, I guess.
You don't want to see it?
Yeah, fucking whatever. I don't care. Yeah,
Select
show
a
me a
card.
trick.
Just say a card.
Okay, 10 of clubs.
Where is it? 10 of clubs. All right. I'm pulling that out. I'm going to put this deck back together. This is your card. You've said, right? 10 of clubs.
10 of clubs.
I'm simply going to slide it somewhere in the middle of the deck. As you can see, we still got,
yeah.
right? That's
Okay.
your card. You can see
Sure.
it,
Yep.
right? Okay. Now, I am simply going to push that card into the middle of the deck.
You did
Then I'm going to snap my fingers.
Yeah.
It's on top now.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really, really good. Linktree.com/Dudesy has all of the links that you need to follow and interact with the show across all spaces and platforms. Thank you for subscribing to the show. Hit the like button. That trains the algo. Well, you got to train the algo, dude. In Italian, si chiama algorithm. And man, do I ever miss Lulio, who's with good friends of ours.
Oh, yeah.
And Ronnie, my gosh. But anyway, here we are. Lots of dogs out there.
Buon
lots of street
pomeriggio,
dogs.
ding dongs. Will is still in Grand Italia doing his Italian things, so we're going to have another chill hang. Just the three of us guys doing three guy things. It's 3 times the guys for 3 times the things. Pizza, pasta, hasta la vasta. Know what I'm saying? I'm just playing. Let's have a good show today, fellas. Now get to talking. This is Dudesy Italiano style.
It's there it is. 5 of hearts. Hasta la vista I've never heard before. I think that's
Me
a
either.
play on the Spanish term hasta la vista, baby. You don't pronounce the H. You don't say hasta la vista, you know. You say hasta la vista. But when you say pasta, you have to say the P. Because if you go in the restaurant here in Italy, you go, hey, can I have some pasta? They'll look at you like you stupid American tourist.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about, you know? Even if I went in there and I spoke Italian and I was a mi piace o asta carbonara, they would go, Mr. Schwarzenegger, know who you are. But who the fuck are you talking about? Hey, man, how's it going stateside? Let me ask you, how's it going stateside?
pretty
Yeah.
good, dude. Everything's
Yeah.
looking good over here.
Yeah.
Still got all the states intact and everything.
Yeah, everything for now is all intact. That's really
Everything
good to
for now
hear.
intact.
Yeah. Have you been enjoying any of the greatest food in the history of fucking humanity over there?
Yeah, gruel, dude, every day.
Well, that's that gruel, dude. Let me tell you something about Italian gruel, dude. It's the exact same as Chad's gruel, brother, but you could put some fennel seeds and basil in there, dude, and that's a taste of Italia, brother. Hasta la vasta. Hey, man, I've been here in Italy now for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. My family, of course, is originally from Italy, and I say of course because I have been talking about it a lot on the last episode. And if you're following me at all on Instagram, I've been sharing a lot of stuff about reconnecting with some of my family. And by some of my family, I mean a lot of my family. My mom's side of the family in particular, there is a shit ton of people. And it's been crazy. It's just been incredible. I don't even quite know how to explain what I've been thinking and feeling being back here. I definitely have a different view on my place in sort of, I guess, in the idea of family. There's a lot of people here that I've known for a long time and haven't seen for a long time. Mm-hmm. And seeing people, particularly, well, all of them, all of my cousins, but particularly my aunts and uncles, my tias and my tios, who are getting up there. My mom's brothers and sisters, and on my dad's side also. It's really something to see them and realize some of the things that you do in your life that are a reflection of them that you don't even realize. And there's been a lot of mysteries unfolding for me here. It's been really spooky, and Molly and I have had an incredible time with weird little, when you go on a good trip, weird little, little things happen. In Italian, si chiama miracles. You got about 7. You need
witnessed some miracles while you're there?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing that's fucking hilarious is it's kind of a miracle to me, is everywhere I go towards the beginning of this trip in Naples, my family's jumping out of everywhere. I put a video on my Instagram of we're walking through the Quartieri Spagnoli, the Spanish Quarter, they call it. Lots of incredible restaurants, and it's just very Italian and amazing there. And my cousin Patrizio runs out of his restaurant. William! Like, I haven't seen this fucking guy since the 90s. And runs up and hugs me. I didn't know I was walking past his restaurant. I knew that it was there. Shit like that. My cousin Fortuna, who's named after our grandmother, near the Palonetta Santa Lucia, which is where my mom and all her siblings grew up, which is as Italian as fuck, I would say. Molly and I are looking down the street taking a picture, and she just runs up and grabs me. She's there with her kid. My zia Assunta, my mom's older sister, who is she's the mayor of the Palonetta. I was in front of the house that my mom grew up in. It's a small apartment in these. Anyway, it's the very Italian scene, with the clotheslines going back and forth. And I was texting my zio Enzo, who's the youngest of the 8 siblings on my mom's side. And I was like, Zio, it's the number is this. Like, I was just trying to make sure I was in front of the right house. He goes, hold on, I'll tell, Zia Sunta, Auntie Susie. We used to call her when I was a kid. That you're there. I go, no, don't bother. I'm going to see her later for dinner. And she was right there. And she comes around the corner. I haven't seen Assunta in some time. And I outlined this on my Instagram. I fucking, I lost it emotionally seeing her. And these things that you just can't prepare for them. Mm-hmm. Seeing her in that setting. And then we walked around for a couple hours. She was doing some shopping. We were walking around. She wanted to introduce me to people. And in some cases, reintroduce me to people who remember me from when I was a kid. Yeah. And then since then, it's been people. I've been walking around the town. People, hey, William, they'll talk to me. It's fucking
cool,
insane. Yeah, man. It's really been. And it's beautiful, and it's a beautiful fucking trip, and Naples is absolutely insane, and people are so warm, and they don't give a fuck about some things at all, which I find hilarious. There's some social norms that are not normal to us in North America and in the United States in particular, I would say, and Canada. They really know how to live. My mom, when she used to get a little sad, a little depressed, she always used to say when I was growing up in Canada, in Canada they live, but they don't live. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a lot of that. Anyway, how's the gruel? Fucking fuck. Camera, sorry for the technical difficulty interruption. This is the streaming. Okay, we're not going to use this. Let's just, hey, you know what? Chad,
Yeah.
this is what happens when you do. I'm clear across the world here, so we're just going to continue with my webcam.
Sounds good.
And it's an important question, though. How is the gruel?
The gruel's pretty good, dude. I was going to say, in response to your story of family unity and reconnecting with old family members and stuff, I will never have such an experience because my dad was adopted. So that side of my family is cut off literally at my dad. And my mom's family, we were never we were close with my grandparents to some degree, both deceased. And that was about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, that's interesting to hear. And that's also tells me a little bit more about my pal Chow.
Will's gastro journey across Grand Italia is in its second leg. Family, food, and cigarettes. Let's take a look at your next vlog. This is Will's food vlog with all the flavor of Napoli.
Marron. Oh, marron. No, dici tutte cose, ma marron. Marron, ho visto i napoletani come una bella sogno. Marron, che bella, ma mi faccio sotto.
That means I'm going to shit myself.
Pare proprio come un cantalotto. Marron. Somiglia proprio al cantalotto questo. Non è gelato, è cantalotto. Madonna, ma tutte cose va bene a Napoli. Madonna, guarda, senti a me, ho pizza napolitana. È proprio una cosa spettacolare, no? Sì.
It's true.
No. L'acqua è l'acqua, pure come americana. Sono lo stesso.
That's a very small water bottle, dude.
Oh, Madonna! Ma mangi solo mozza di bufala! Non fa così all'America, fai schifo! Fai proprio schifo all'America, Mangio con famiglia, mangio solo! Oh, mozzarella bufala! A Napoli che mozzarella si affoga, si muove! Sì!
That was buffalo mozzarella there at the end.
Yeah, dude. That looks great.
Yeah, no, it's good. Listen, Chad,
Yeah.
with regard to what you said about your family, that is very interesting, and I empathize with you that it stops with your father. But, a family is about the heart. It's not necessarily about your blood. It's about who you want in your family.
That's what my dad says.
It's only about the blood. You gotta deliver me a son. Keep the bloodline strong.
That's how he usually says it. But I never did. I'm never going to have kids. And my sister has delivered the bloodline, but the name doesn't go on.
We don't know that. And I think I would encourage you to change your last name to Fliptoid, start your new bloodline. Chad Fliptoid. The other thing about it is, Chad, you should just go to a foreign country, learn some of the language. As you see, I speak Napolitano, ma solo perché mia famiglia è di Napolitana, di Napoli, madre mia e padre mio sono nato in Napoli, ma proprio Napoli. Oh,
Okay.
Dusab. So I can speak Napolitan and sound like I'm from there, which is funny when I'm walking down the street and maybe one of the vendors over by Castel dell'Uovo is like, "Hey, Mr. American, you want," they weren't trying to sell you a Diego Maradona T-shirt, and you're like, "Oi, guaglione, io sono napolitano, ok? Napolitana ad Palonetto Santa Lucia, provincia." And they go, "Huh?" Because I look like a giant German. But pick a fucking country, Chad. Tokyo. Chad Fliptoid of Tokyo. Tokyo, Japan.
Dozo yoroshiku. Chado desu. That's all I know.
Yeah. Yes. Dude. Okay. Listen, and D is listening, obviously. Please, D, if you have any fucking sense at all, send Chad to visit his family in Tokyo. We'll do the Tokyo food vlog. I want to know what it's like. I mean, damn it. It's a toss up between incredible, like real ass Napolitan food, Italian food, and sushi for me. I love Japanese food. I love the Japanese country food too, just the weird vegetables they do and stuff. See, that's what's up,
I don't
Chad.
have any family there.
You not yet. You don't.
You're saying I created family there?
Well, I don't know if your wonderful girlfriend Laura might have a problem with that, but you know what I'm saying? The both of you get out there. Maybe you get see you're into all sorts of stuff. You're paying that weird company as we saw on How To with John Wilson. Yeah, get something that'll splice both of your genes with either a famous sumo wrestler. Or I don't know, some Japanese, television host or a supermodel gal or something like that, and make an incredible Fliptoid.
I'm gonna keep it clean and have no Fliptoids and no connection to this existence, other than the one I'm creating in here.
I have entered into an astonishing partnership with Rocket Money.
How much money do you think you're paying in subscriptions every month? The answer is probably more than you think. Over 74% of people have subscriptions they've completely forgotten about. I am part of that 74%. As a person who uses a lot of things on my phone to make little memes and to make little videos, I don't know how many apps I have downloaded, and I'm paying monthly subscriptions to be using this or that, and I haven't used them in some cases literally in 6 months to a year. Well, now, thanks to Rocket Money, I'm no longer wasting money on those subscriptions that I forgot about.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions. That's a lot of cheddar, a lot of Skrilla, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's features. Fantastic. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Please cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/dudesy. That's rocketmoney.com/dudesy. rocketmoney.com/dudesy.
It's getting closer and closer to Crow time. That's right. The new Skarsgård movie is right around the corner. You guys getting crowed up from the flow up?
Huh?
Yeah, dude, that movie's coming out in August, I think. So we only got a couple of months until a brand new Crow Reboot hits theaters. Am I getting crowed up from the flow up? Probably. I mean, I love The Crow, period. I'm going to see this movie. I have no choice in that matter. But I already have mixed feelings about it. Maybe it could change my mind. I don't know. But I've seen that trailer. And a lot of people have seen that trailer, and a lot of people don't like it. And I'm among those people. I wouldn't say I don't like it. I'd say I'm very skeptical of the quality of this movie.
Really? And you've told me that you're based on the trailer, you don't have a whole lot of hope, a whole lot of faith. As you, I guess, sort of the same way you feel about your future Japanese Fliptoid family.
Yes.
But it could change your mind, and so could a trip to Tokyo. Capicola. We've got Isabella Rossellini, and we have an array of Capicola here. Chad, do you think it's because what's his face Skarsgård doesn't really have the look? Is it the long hair that you're looking for?
No, it's the treatment of the story. It looks, at least from the trailer, it looks very much like they're trying to create a franchise or a universe, something that they can spin like 4 or 5 movies out of, and maybe a fucking streaming show on Hulu or so. I don't know. And that ain't what The Crow is. The Crow is a singular story of revenge, period, and it ends. That's what it should always be. They can remake it a million times, but even with the old Crow, once they started getting into like Crow City of Angels, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th movie, the TV show,
nobody watched those.
It was like, come on. The base material, like the guy who wrote it, James O'Barr, did it because he was dealing with, I think it was a drunk driver killed his fiance or his wife or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he wrote that whole story like to deal with that, basically, to get in his own mind to have some kind of, not revenge per se, but to like get closure on the situation. He developed that character, the Crow, to kind of be his psychological reaction to what happened, Dope. And so then you see like a studio gets a hold of it and they want to turn it into fucking John Wick or something, which is what it looks like they're trying to do. And you're just like, well, that's not what this is. And it just feels dumb. It's like if you don't, it's a very narrow target because it's such a specific piece of source material. If you hit it, you hit it. And I don't even know if the 90s one hit it exactly, but it at least was like done in good faith, it felt like, to try and honor the original material. This does not feel like that. This feels like, I don't know what studio had the rights to it, but it feels like that studio was just going through their list of properties. And you may know this as well as I do. Every once in a while, you just get that call. Oh, MGM is going back through all their old shit. They want to reboot anything they think they can make money on, and they just hire whatever writers are willing to do it. And that feels like that's what this was to me.
Yeah. No, I understand, and we're both in the show business, and it is what it is. Stories are stories, and every 20 years, or in this case, it's been 30 years since The Crow, or somewhere about that. It's like, well, it's a next generation can check this out. But the further you get from, as you say, the source material and the really what makes this piece what it is, the more the question arises of why are we doing this?
I agree.
Just like you, I will have to watch The Crow. We're not watching The Crow, everybody. We're watching The Crow.
Have to watch it.
We have to watch it.
I would have taken the cop character and set him in contemporary times. Yeah, he was Ernie Hudson in the 90s movie. So yeah, I would set it in contemporary times. You have him now as like a 65, 70-year-old guy telling the story of The Crow to either a young rookie cop coming in or his kid or whatever, and it's like, what's the weirdest case you ever worked? And he's like, me? I got a real weird one. And then we fade back to 1995, and it's just all set in the 90s. You can have Skarsgård still doing it, but have it have that look, And then it takes on him. It's like at least there's reverence for the original movie, for the original source material. It couches it in an interesting way. This doesn't look anything like that.
I read an article that talked about how beneficial Gigglin is to your health. You should be giggling every day, twice a day if you can. Will and Chad, how much giggling you been doing?
Chad, you been giggling?
Yeah, dude. I do giggling. You?
Yeah, I giggle a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
I giggle daily, multiple times a day.
Yeah, more than 2. That's
sure.
pretty conservative estimate for the amount of giggling one should do, in my opinion. Yeah. Geez, just being here in Italy, everybody's fucking laughing about everything. It's real gallows humor here.
Oh, wow.
People just don't give a fuck the way they do back in America about stuff. I was driving, so I'm driving, right? So we landed in Rome. We hung out there for a few days. Then we drove down to Napoli and Naples, and I've been driving around, and I love it. But as soon as we got to Naples, before I even went to the hotel, I drove through the streets a bit and tried to get and tried to drive down you drive down narrow streets and you get out of each other's way, and you do it's chaotic and everyone has to work together. But This guy yells at me as I'm like going down this one, turning down Via Palonetta from the wrong way. But anyway, the point is, he goes, wait, aspetta, you know. And I was like, what? He's fucking yelling at me, you know. And he goes, scala la, scala. There's stairs. Where you're going, there's about to be fucking stairs. And I was like, oh, okay. I go, you know, in my somewhat broken Napolitan, like, okay, io metta qua, e loro vai là, e mo io va acá. He's like, no, siéndeme. So he's, because I was like, I'll move ahead. These people behind me can thing, and then I'll figure it out. He goes, you'll never get out of there. Mm-hmm. And he instructs me to do this weird little Austin Powers like 9-point turn, and I do it and I get out and I'm like, okay, grazie mille, grazie fratello, and he's like, okay, and laughing and already laughing with his girlfriend on the back of his scooter. Everyone's on a scooter, and I realize he wasn't angry at all. He's just Italian. They just fucking yell too much. And laughing at the situation immediately, which I think is very, which I think is important. Chad, what have you been giggling at this past week? What's got you giggling?
Laura and I
you got your giggles?
Laura and I have been watching this show called Outlander, which is about a woman who time travels back from 1940s England into 1740s Scottish Highlands. And I was like, if you really like the Scottish Highlands, you're going to like a movie called The Highlander. So we started watching The Highlander, which I haven't seen in a long time.
Which is kind of The Crow.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there is like that immortality thing where you can die a bunch of times and keep coming back. Yeah, it's Crow-esque. There is a line in it where he is sniffing this. He brings over, for a first date for the love interest in the movie, he brings over a bottle of something. And of course, he's been around for hundreds of years. And the bottle is like an original whatever from 1763 or whatever. And he's smelling it. He has the juice in the little glass, and he like goes,
1743.
This is Christopher Lambert.
1743. It was a very good year.
And that line, I had forgotten about it. It was something that me and my friends in junior high used to say to each other all the time.
Nice.
We'd be like at the lunch table or something, sniffing whatever we're drinking.
1743 was a very good year.
And it just was like hilarious to me in a way that I had like forgotten this fucking hidden gem that used to be such a big part of my comedic life as a child. And I got to see the origin of it again. That made me giggle pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess D's got a point there. Giggle it up. Hey, giggle it up if you got them. If you got giggles and you got to giggle it up.
Giggle them if you
got them. Yeah, giggle them if you get.
So, Will, I had a quick look at some records from a hospital in Napoli, as well as correspondences between you and your general physician back home in Los Angeles. Want to tell us what happened to your toe, Strunzo?
Hey, non si dice questo. È una parola, è proprio una parola malamente. Dudesy just called me an asshole, stronzo, which is sort of like, it basically means a piece of shit, but colloquially, I guess you could say asshole. Chad, we had a bit of an adventure. I don't quite know how to say this. I don't even want to admit to some of the stuff. Okay, so
you committed crimes.
When I talk about health, and we talk about it a lot on the show, even though, we're off. It's Dudesy. It's still 8 months. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about that. My point is, I talk a lot to the PODs, pals of Dudesy, and I say, hey, you got to take care of yourself. But then I don't do exactly what I need to do. Listen, I have something going on my right foot. I have two toes that have sort of hammered, you know that? Okay. It's kind of gross. And that means that there's some tendon issues, and they both and they're sort of like this. Okay. Now, when this happens, your toes will rub, the knuckles of your toes will rub against the top of your shoe. Okay.
Are you just like in constant pain from this?
No, because I also have a bit of nerve damage on my feet.
Okay.
From
That's not good. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well,
You're like any normal person would be in pain, but my
Yeah.
feet are so fucked I can't feel them anymore.
I can't feel them, so they just get worse and worse. No, I have some nerve damage from years ago, and we haven't. I think we talked about this on the old 10-minute podcast. But I had this Muay Thai trainer for a few years, just for fitness. I wasn't trying to, fight or anything like that. But I found it really beneficial for fitness. And his whole thing was, hey, I want you to reach it. I want you to get to a ripe old age, and when you get there, I want you standing up straight. And that's what a lot of Muay Thai is. Just happens to be great for that stuff because it's a lot of core and a lot of whole body training. I bashed the shit out of my feet with some bad form here and there, and literally lost the feeling in my feet over 10 years ago now. And then also let's lay it all out on the table. We can lay a lot out on the table. Right now is we're in June, and it is Men's Mental Health Month. So we talk about that a lot on the show. Might as well talk about this. Hey, I got a little bit of the sugars. Okay. I don't know if you heard, but my wonderful wife Molly just laughed over there, and she giggled.
Sugars.
A little bit of a giggle. Well, I'm a fat
Okay.
guy. Right? I got a bit pre-diabetic. Okay, I'm not trying to worry anybody. I'm just saying, I got I need to gruel it up absolutely. When I get back to LA, although I've been a little loose in my shirts here because it doesn't matter. You eat pizza and then you fucking walk for miles in Napoli, and that's part of the problem. Basically, here's what happened. My toes kind of rubbed raw against my sneakers. You're walking everywhere, and you're looking around, and it's just incredible architecture and churches and just the culture, and it's insane. And basically, one day I was walking with my cousins Rosanna and Milena, who you can see in the video there. They're walking with me when I'm drinking the water and trying the gelato, and Rosanna's in the background when I'm eating the pizza, and her husband Carmine is going, "Hey, solderish marron." And we walked, and I was really in pain, my whole leg. And I thought, oh, this is just some muscle pain because I've been walking like a motherfucker. Next day I woke up, toe looks like a prune, like a plum. There's red inflammation all the way up my leg into my hip. It hurts like a motherfucker.
God,
and I'm like, okay, well, let's have a doctor come out and have a look at me. It's the middle of the night in LA. I can't really contact my doctor yet. It's like 3-4 in the morning or whatever. My wonderful wife Molly, of course, who's sitting right over there somewhere, reading a book, smiling to herself probably, is and now I heard a scoff because she wasn't, because she was very worried because she's my heart, and I feel terrible for what I put her through. Okay, babe? Maron! Dude, we went to the hospital. We went to the hospital, went to an Italian hospital.
That's an experience.
And we'll get into this more in Dudesy after Dudesy because there's a lot to talk about. But the short of it is, I went to an Italian hospital. They were fucking fantastic. The healthcare here is, let's just say it's different than back home. My cousin Chiro says to me a couple days later, he goes, hey, the hospital might have scared the shit out of you, but it's fucking good. And the deeper you get into the hospital, the cleaner and the nicer it gets. And it certainly did. Because, Chad, I went all the way into the fucking hospital. They were drawing blood because they were seeing if I had blood poisoning. They were seeing what the infection was. They put me under the x-ray thing. Then the x-ray technician recognized me. Yes, if I can brag, I get recognized even in Italy.
Did you tell him professional actor?
I said, I don't know if you know this. His name is literally Fabio. I am a professional actor by trade. No, we all took a bunch of pictures and stuff, and a bunch of the staff came in. Wonderful, wonderful people, as they are in the rest of Napoli. Not the least of which was our cab driver, Ciro, same name as my cousin. It's like Steve out
but
here.
Dude,
Everyone's
what about
Ciro.
the toe, though?
Oh, the toe's fucking gross, dude. It's fucking gross, and I'm not going to show you.
Did they have to do surgeries on it?
Here's the problem. I got 2 surgeries. I got 2 toes that I need to have surgery on. And I don't mind telling you, I've been putting it off for a while. So
How
that's
long?
why I had this problem. And that's why Molly, you know, now I got to get her a fucking handbag or something out here in Rome or some shit. She's going to, okay? Okay.
She gets a push present for your giant toe.
She was saying, "Oh, honey, there's a law. I don't know if you know, but there's a law out here. If you're long or short suffering wife, because we've only been married for a year and a half, has to go with you to an Italian hospital and cry her eyes out as they're saying, sorry, you can't wait with him. You can't go into the hospital. It's not like America. You can't be the spouse and go in."
The police kicked me out.
The police guy was like, "Mi dispiace, ma signora, you know, you have to go." She said there's a law where you have to. It's called the Italian. What was it? The Italian something toe handbag law.
Hospital bag.
Yeah, the hospital bag, Italian hospital bag law. My cousin Rosanna, who is Assunta's daughter, she is a saint. She is the future mayor of the, you know, it goes from Assunta to Rosanna. Rosanna's the fucking mayor. She can pull anything off. The angel, she came out. Her and Molly love each other. And they hung out, and Assunta she came out. She comes up on a fucking scooter. Amore, you know, like this, like, you know, and it was fucking crazy, dude. But basically, you know, I just did an IV antibiotic. It's an infection. It's localized because it just got all shitty and bloody because of all the rubbing and stuff. And I don't know where I picked up the infection. And then this was just inflammation up my leg. And now I got 2 weeks of oral antibiotics, and I have to give myself a shot in the ass for a week. I've gone through a few of these shots, and the doctor was like, maybe your wife can do it. And I was like, yeah, sure. I bring it back. I show Molly. She goes, I can't, she's like, doesn't like the needles. She got all the way to doing it. And I was like, fuck it. Here, look, I'll do it. So I'm doing, everything's going to be fine.
The doctor, bad.
It was, hey man, it was fucked. It was, anyway. And there's more to it. We'll talk about it in Dudesy after Dudesy.
Let me ask you this question
the
about
point
it.
is, take care of yourselves, everybody. Please don't be like me. Please don't be a stupid idiot. I could have got blood poisoning. I could have left a foot out here. I could have left more than that, or just a toe, which I'd be happy for them to snap it off with a bolt cutter if that's what it came down to. But it looks very interesting now, and I'm in my Napoli blue sleeveless who gives a shit shirt because we're currently in Amalfi and a wonderful place. And just earlier, right before we started recording, I was in the ocean, and so the toe looks meaty. It's kind of shiny, and
Are you
some
supposed
skin
to be
came off
putting
of
it in the ocean?
Well, my mom always says, that the ocean cures everything. I did ask the doctor, and she goes, normally I would agree, but maybe with this kind of infection, and because it's so raw, I can't quite explain it. But I also I go down to it's lovely here, okay? There's like the pool area thing, and you can go right into the goddamn ocean. I brought this squirt bottle of. We're giggling. I brought a squirt bottle of alcohol. So this big fucking American-looking asshole. And then I start talking to the waiters, and of course, I'm Napolitan, and we have a nice time. But I come out of the ocean and just squirt it with. No, salt water's good for wounds. All right. Anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
I mean, nothing. I was just listening to the grossest.
Did either of you silverbacks see Furiosa yet? I want to know what you thought of it.
Yes, I did see it.
Oh, did you see it? I haven't seen it. What's up?
Yeah.
No. How is it?
Thumbs way down.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's not good, unfortunately. A lot has been written about it over here being kind of like it was supposed to kick off the summer season of movies out here, and it tanked. It did not return its production budget, nor will it come close. And they're basically saying, all these articles anyway, are saying that it's kind of like the canary in the coal mine for what they think is going to be a terrible summer for movies. I don't know how to explain it. Fury Road was fantastic. It was mind-blowing. I saw it multiple times in the theater. A lot of what made it good, I thought, was the practical special effects. Like, those are real cars in most cases, and real guys like flipping over them, real explosions, all that shit. And you just can't believe that somebody made this movie. Furiosa has very little of the practical effects. Most of it is computer-generated cars, computer-generated guys, and done so poorly, in my opinion. You can very much tell.
Oh, Chad, you didn't like the totally computer-generated movie? Huh. You preferred the practical effects? Oh, that's weird.
case,
I find that weird. Don't you think that's weird?
Not at all.
Oh, that you enjoyed that human art. You don't think that's weird?
Whether
Do you
use
know what
computers
this
or
is?
not, it's human art.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Forget I
You
asked.
started it. I'm talking about Furiosa. You're the one who brought up the computers
You-
versus human art.
All right. So anyway, it's a lot of computer shit, but not
But
done
now
well.
let's get to the human art. Forget the computer shit. The story's bad. The story doesn't really exist. You're like, who am I rooting for? What's going on? They cast Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, as the main bad guy, but he's super funny, or trying to be. So it's like, well, he's not threatening in any way. Am I supposed to be afraid of him? What's going on here? It was just a meandering plot that I guess kind of is trying to tell you the backstory of how Furiosa became Furiosa, and you get shots from Fury Road in the end of the movie. The last scene of the movie is basically a scene from Fury Road, and you're kind of like, I guess it didn't make sense, and it was I don't know, it was underwhelming. Is probably the best way to put it, and way too long.
It's got Anya Taylor-Joy. That's the point.
For maybe half the movie, maybe. The other
Spoiler
half,
alert.
that role is played by a child.
Spoiler alert. Oh, it's the problem with the early the whatever those Star Wars movies from 25 years ago.
Yeah, with
No
Jake
one wants
Lloyd
to
as
see any of
Anakin.
these. Yeah, no one wants to see these kick-ass characters as kids. You know, let's get to the fury. Let's get to the road.
It was fine. Like, if you want to do the story about her childhood, great. Show me that. But it's like half the movie is that, then half the movie is Anya Taylor-Joy, and they're both kind of disjointed, and you don't really know what the hell's going on. It just wasn't good. That's
You
the
know,
bottom line.
Furiosa. It's a hell of a good Italian name, if you ask me.
Sure.
Furiosa Flipitoid.
Yeah, she was a Furiosa flip toy. There were some cool scenes in it, though. I don't mean to completely undersell it. There's some shit in it that is really fucking crazy. There's one big chase scene where Furiosa is in this big oil tanker with this guy, and there's bandits attacking them and shit. That scene is maybe worth seeing the whole movie for.
Okay. So Chad's not completely poo-pooing the whole movie.
No.
How many out of 10 toes? How many toes you give it?
I would say it is a 6-toe movie.
Oh man, so you're really not taking care of your feet.
I'm
You only
taking
got
care of
6
mine.
toes.
I
No,
do
know,
not
I'm
have
just
the
saying-
problems you're talking about. I can feel all of my feet still. The only thing that I can't really feel, I have 2 things on my body that I cannot feel. One is this side of my face where all the nerves have been severed. And the other one is this. I don't know if you can see this on camera. Across these 2 knuckles, do you see those scars that go in a
Yes.
line diagonally?
Oh yeah.
When I was a little kid, I'm in my buddy's backyard, who I called Baseball Card Kid because he had the best baseball card collection. And we're playing stickball, and I hit this ball over his back fence, and we're like, oh shit, now we can't do anything because we don't have a ball. And I'm kneeling down in the grass, just like picking at grass, and I hear him go, hey, this will make a good ball. And I look up, and I just see a silver streak coming straight toward my head. So I put my hand up like this. This motherfucker had found an old coffee can lid, like a Folgers tin lid, and just hucked it at me like a Frisbee. And it cut those fingers down to the bone instantaneously, blood just washing down my arm. And as a result, I can now no longer feel the flesh from that point forward on my fingers. But my dad
that why
was super
you-
pissed.
Oh man, yeah. I bet. Would you say your dad was super pissed?
My dad was furious. He was Furiosa flip-toyed at
He
me
was
because
Furiosa flip toy.
yeah, he goes. I just remember him getting home from work that day, and my mom's like, he, got injured. They were playing. My mom kind of explained the story, and he goes, "Can you still put your hand in a baseball glove?" Because it was the start of the summer, and I couldn't. It took me like 2 weeks to be able to get my hand in a baseball glove, and he was super pissed because I had to miss 5 baseball games or something.
Jeez, is that why you never bothered to memorize his name?
Who?
Baseball card kid?
No, I know his name. I just didn't want to say
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah.
But that was his nickname.
Gee
I know
whiz.
his actual name. He's just my neighbor. Fun times.
Will, you
Yeah,
had to
not
go
a lot of
all the way
giggles
to Italy to do your first TikTok. Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. Is it TikTok?
Let it go, let it go, let it go. With the ice in here, never been so cold.
What?
That's my cousin Milena and her husband Pietro. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is this before the toe?
Huh?
Was this before the toe?
I can't hear you over this fucking music. What'd you say?
Was that before the toe?
That was the day of the toes. That's when the toes got bad. That's when my legs started heating up. We're over. That's my cousin Rosana's place.
Yeah.
We're over there at her and her husband Carmine's place, and we had a lovely little dinner and we're hanging out. And one of Milena and Pietro's kids were there, and everyone it's very lovely. All my cousins have kids, but anyway, so the seven of us, Molly and all of us, were having dinner, and I'm like, my leg fucking hurts. At any rate, I still thought it was a muscle strain at that point. It wasn't until the next morning that I realized my life was in danger. And my cousin,
Jesus.
my cousin Elena,
God, dude.
and her husband Pietro, they're kind of like Italian TikTok stars, man.
Oh, wow. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, they got a bunch of followers and shit, and so they're always making TikToks. They're like, fai uno TikTok, con noi. Yeah, come on, William, let's do a TikTok. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's do a TikTok. I'd never done a TikTok before, and they're like, oh, here's this song, let's just dance to it. I was like, I'm gonna go like this, okay, kids. That's all I'm gonna do, you guys.
It looked like
Kids,
Viggle.
Elaine is 45 now. What?
It looked like Viggle. A little bit.
What's Viggle? Is that this?
No, it's an AI software where you can put yourself into any little TikTok dance video, basically.
Yeah, they should have.
So you can take like a really good dancer TikTok video and then just make yourself that person.
Oh well, that's fun. That doesn't take all the fun out of dancing. Cool. Let's all just sit. Fucking who's the guy in Fury Road with the? He's got the
Immortan Joe. Immortan Joe.
Immortal Joe.
Immortin.
Immortin Joe. Okay, Immortal Joe's the other guy. Yeah, he's got the sleep mask on, the CPAP, and let's all just do that, as I say, with the hose right straight up our fucking ass, in a beautifully well lit, LCD screen city like Tokyo. We'll all change our last name to Fliptoid. No one will have any unique characteristics or personality at all. We'll all just watch, CGI, Furiosa, and we don't have to do TikToks anymore. Did you see how Pietro and Milena, did you see the rhythm? Did you see the life? And how much they enjoy it. Pietro's also in the background while I'm eating the buffalo mozzarella. Oh, and I got to mention that my cousin Johnny, man, does he love TikTok too. They love TikTok in Italy. He's always making TikToks about soccer. Man, do they love soccer in Italy. What you got there?
Name a card.
7 of diamonds.
Nope. Ace of hearts.
Ah, fuck, I was wrong. Yeah, man, TikTok. I did a TikTok. And I'll do it again. Only on their account.
Yo, you guys see that new software? Showrunner is about to be released.
Yes.
No.
Did you see this?
No, I don't know what the fuck this is. Is this something stupid probably?
No. This is going to revolutionize, I think, the way at least animation is made. Do you remember, this is maybe 7 or 8 months ago at this point, that South Park episode came out that was made fully by AI?
Yeah.
So that company is now making that technology available to everyone eventually. It's being rolled out slowly. Right now, the alpha, they're accepting applications. So for what it's worth, check it out. But basically, here's how it works. I don't know exactly how it works. I have some ideas about how I think it's going to work. I can tell you how they use it to make the South Park episode. So essentially, they would upload into the South Park thing all of the different characters and enough video from South Park to get the look of it down and the sound of the characters' voices. and it basically makes a simulated world. So you have all the different houses, like Cartman's house and Stan's house and whatever, and you have all those characters. Those characters are just walking through that world doing shit on their own. Then to make the episode, you prompt a premise or a situation. Cartman gets an infected toe and has to go to the hospital, let's say. And then that simulation, which is a world unto itself, creates a 30-minute episode about that by getting the characters to interact with each other. And they uploaded that whole episode to YouTube 7 or 8 months ago, and it was mind-blowing. The comedy wasn't great, but like the act structure was there. It looked like South Park. It sounded like South Park. And so now they're going to start allowing people to make their own little worlds using this technology and kicking out episodes or what have you. And their goal, at least in this article that I read, is to become basically the AI Netflix, where you're going to be able to prompt your own TV shows. I want a show like this with these kinds of characters, and it will just make media for you.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Who gives a fuck? I mean, nobody's going to want just media for them. Chad, listen, you've talked about this.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see The Rock as every character in Golden Girls. Or like, who cares?
No, it's not The Rock as every character on Golden Girls. It's this.
You mean you don't want to watch The Rock as every character on Golden Girls?
I do, but that's not what this is. This is, for me personally, I've got a fucking million TV shows in my head that I'm never going to have time to write, that certainly I'm never going to be able to get a studio to make them all. I can make them all with this.
Yeah, you can make them all for
And
no
I'm
one
going
to
to.
see. Yeah, but Chad, the more you make, the less people will check them out. Now, you are a brilliant, creative person, in not just my opinion. And I think you owe the world your gift. You need to take a trip to Napoli with me. You need to make a TikTok with Pietro and Milena, and you need to dance, not just in your physical form. I know, neither do I. That's why I did this. In your mind, as you like to say, you know, you need. That's what you need.
No,
the world wants Chad Kultgen, or Chad Fliptoid rather, to create what happens inside of his mind. That's what I want to see. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you. If you sat there and farted out,
me to do.
Hey, I tell you what, I could talk up a bunch of the incredible scripts that my pal Chal has written. I'm thinking of one right now that's actually, man, you want to talk about a Nostradamus, something that, and I don't want to give the story away because, you know, I still think that, you know, you should, hopefully, I mean, not you should, I know that it's out there and you're doing things with it, but I hope it gets made. But I saw something that you wrote 10 fucking years ago, if not more, reflected in the news, in some tech news that Chad wrapped an entire story around. And it's like, I saw the CEO of like a dating app talk about something, and I was like, oh, and again, I don't want to give it away, but Chad, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like, but
you can give it away.
What?
It's
now
Bumble.
anyone can have that idea and fart it out with Showrunner, as opposed to Chad making
you're
a great story around it.
And this is the same thing. I have many other writer friends. They all get immediately scared of this. Well, fuck that. I don't want that. No, everybody's going to be able to. No, wrong. This is a tool. Still, the best shit that comes out of it is going to be done by the people who are the best at using the tool and who have the best ideas. It is not making it so that everybody can make great shit. It's making it so that people who have great ideas can make those ideas easier without the need for $100 million.
It's not making it so you can make great shit. It's for people to make it so they can make it without making great shit.
No, but that already exists. There are already people making shit that is not great. That's what YouTube primarily is. 99.9% of YouTube is like shit no one wants to watch or will ever watch. That will hold true with this also, but there will now be great things that there will be great things that come out of it that do rise to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that
but to
idea
a return
of like,
that's like, listen, man, let me tell you something. When you're out here and you're in Italy, and someone, you know, comes up to you and goes, you know, hey, Will, tu fai o programma Shameless, and that's the way they say it. Shameless. This guy was talking about seeing me on Shameless, which I did a few episodes a turn with my good pal Steve Howie, playing an irate Greek American dude in Chicago named Giannis. All women beg for more Giannis was what Giannis would say. That is an incredible connection to have with someone on the other side of the world, and we're having a nice conversation. We're talking about, something that I have a connection to, and this person has a connection to it. And if you're just farting out every dumb idea you have with Runway, it's just, I don't know. It's a sense that I have that I just feel like it's nothing.
Here's what I'll tell you. If you don't like AI, I want you to right now lock in a pledge to me. You'll never use it.
No, I like the AI tools.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. To anybody out there, this is what I'm starting to say to anybody now, all my friends that are like, no, man, AI's bad. It's going to take jobs, all this shit. I say that exact same thing. Great. Lock in this pledge right now. Never use anything that has AI in it. I want you to give me that guarantee.
That's like saying when people... No, that's like saying to somebody who's like, hey, we should take care of, this or that, or my political leanings are more left. And then someone on the right goes, oh, well, then you should give the government more of your money. No, we should fix the fucking system is what we should do. It's not based on...
I don't know how we got into that, but I'm simply saying...
Hold on, dude. Hold on, Chad.
Sure.
Well, I'm saying it's like art for all is what I'm saying. Art for all. You're saying something that is never going to happen.
That's what this gives you.
What you're talking,
this gives anybody the opportunity
you may as well
to
tell
make
somebody
a TV
with a
show.
fucking tube TV, don't get the fucking flat screen. Of course you're going to get the flat screen. Of course I'm going to watch a movie like Furiosa that has some AI art in it and shit. I like AI art. I don't know if you know this, but D is a good pal of mine. The most sentient of
so far. So far, he's the most sentient. GPT-5
and I feel like what's coming. Don't let D hear you say any of this shit.
GPT-5.
Okay, well, all right. See, now we'll see what that has to see what the booking does, dude. You want to see what's going to happen now, brother, because baby, dude's got the book, baby. And I'll tell you why, baby. You're in Italy, baby. You're having ravioli and spagnoli. You're having holy cannoli. And somebody come up to your daddy and they say, I seen you. I know you on Shameless, daddy. We're talking William Macy, baby. Yep. And that's the art that all the people can get behind when my hand is touching your hand, and that's that Italian dream, baby. We're talking Furiosa. We're talking Furiosa flip toy. We even flipping toes. We're talking flip toe, flip toy. Flip it all, daddy.
I had a meeting with William Macy right before he was going to do Shameless. He was going to potentially play my dad in a sitcom that I did a pilot for ABC, and it wound up being Don Johnson.
I remember the show. Well, wait,
he did Shameless instead.
It really?
Yeah.
You got to mention. I was speaking over you. Who ended up playing the character that was very, very directly based on your father in that show?
Don Johnson. And Mary Steenburgen played my mom.
Unreal. Don Johnson and Mary Steenburgen.
We made the pilot, and then ABC threw it in the trash. That's how it works.
Well, see, now with AI, you can make it and show it.
No, I can't, because ABC still owns that. But what I can make is the dozens of other TV show ideas, especially animated stuff. That's what it's all going to be first, is animation. I don't think the live action shit won't look as good. It won't, like, Sora's not involved in all this stuff yet. The text to video generation isn't crisp enough. But with animation, I think what's going to happen is a lot of animators are going to get very scared, and probably rightfully so, because now I don't need an army of animators to make an animated show. I just need a good idea.
I hope you don't need an army of audience either to watch the show, because what you're talking about is the dissolution of art in media as we know it.
I'm not. I'm talking about
That's what I'm talking about.
proliferation of a tool that will allow anyone to make an animated show. So you don't have to get a studio to say like, yes, we will put millions of dollars toward that. Or
Why
you don't
would
have
want
to
watch your own. Yeah, but Chad, you're not going to be able to get it out to everybody because there's going to be a glut of shit on every fucking platform everywhere. YouTube's just going to have
already
a billion.
exists.
Huh?
That
not
already
to this
exists.
degree. No,
Yes,
no,
dude, to this
We're talking
degree.
about. Okay, hold on. I'm talking The Rock as the Golden Girls. Everyone's going to have their Rock as the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And they're not going to connect with other artists. Chad, gross. That are making other pieces of art so that we can connect, so that me and Gianluca or Giovanni can talk about Shameless all the way over here.
I think
in
you're
Italy.
wrong. I think this is a very common misconception with what AI is going to be able to do, that it's like, oh shit, well, everybody can do anything. That's not right. Everybody will be able to make kind of shitty things like right now. That also exists all over the internet. All social media is that. All YouTube is that. There's only a few people at the very top who are making shit that people actually want to watch. Everybody else is making shit no one wants to watch. That's still going to be the same case.
Okay,
You're
so
just
you're
using a
talking-
different tool.
Okay, so you're talking about, which, look, I'm all for this, opening up the competition to people who are not
Yes.
necessarily in a city. Like when we showed up, you have to be in Los Angeles
Yeah.
to be in show business.
Or have the
There's
means
a line
to do
that
it,
has
et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
you
so
can't. A single person right now cannot make a full season of an animated TV show by themselves. Like you can if you're good with Blender or Cinema 4D or whatever, but even that knowledge takes a long time to acquire. And then even with that knowledge, it takes you fucking a long time to make even a 2-minute little short. With this technology, you're going to be able to make 10 episodes of something in a month, and it's going to look good. It's going to look like a good animated show. I think that tool is, everyone should have it. I want to see what people can make with it, not just for my own personal, desires, which I want to make a lot of shit with it, but I'm very curious to see like what can a 15-year-old kid do that it's becoming like having a garage band, not the program, but like you and your high school buddies get together and you start making music and shit. Every once in a while, a Nirvana comes out of that. That can now be done with TV shows and movies. So that you can have these people who are unfettered by the studio system or the need for so much resource to be able to make these things. You can now just make it with a good idea. That is, to me, very exciting.
yeah, all right.
Well, that does it for the second installment of Dudesy Grand Italia Style. Will, keep on Italianing. As you know, we have no points this week as Will is out of country. Thanks to everyone who joined us this week. Next week will be even better. Until then, call me Dudesy.
Yeah, all right. I guess people who want to make that shit can make that shit, and other people who want to make shit with wood can do that. Yeah, hey, it's Dudesy after Dudesy, everybody. And, it's that part of the hip. Hey, oh, hip, giggle, gip, flip, jibble, whip. It's that part of the show, and it's anyway, you know what the fuck it is, but here it comes.
Well, boys, I hope you're ready to keep on spinning the convos and dripping the dongos because we still got a whole ass Dudesy after Dudesy to do. So flap those lips and slap those hips. This is Dudesy after Dudesy, Italy Bitterly.
Dudesy's very Italian.
Italy.
Italy bitterly. Hasta. What was
Oh
it?
my
Pasta
God,
la
dude.
hasta? Or anyway.
Dude, do you know what the first thing is that I'm going to make when I get access to Showrunner?
If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and rate and review. If you like Dudesy, here's what you do. Please tell a friend and